All right, we'll go ahead and get started here.
Today, Chris is going to teach me how to fly.
No, you're actually here to protect me while I fly. So. All right, well, welcome aboard the Iowa Mooney Express, the fun and awesomeness. I have a good friend of mine named Gabe. He is with me today. He is a business owner and a business coach.
That's right.
That's awesome. And I tell you what, he's more importantly today a safety pilot for me. We are going to be doing some IFR work where I put on these fancy little fun glasses and I fly just using this and just using the instruments. So today we decided we're going to fly to Pella.
Yes.
Pella is an airport that I have never been to. So this will be we'll be able to knock this off my Fly Iowa Challenge. And Gabe here will be flying again today. You'll be taking your son up.
Yeah, right afterwards we're going to go and we're just going to do a couple circles around Ames and, tip the wing this way, tip the wing that way. It'll be great.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. So I'm certainly grateful that you're here aboard with us today. I got to get these 40 hours in, and so I hit you up this week and said, hey, listen, I got some time. You want to do this? And you were like, yeah, absolutely. Let's make it happen. So,
yeah, it's Chris. Of course I'm going to be here.
Well, I appreciate you being here today. So we're going to go ahead and get the weather.
1523 Zulu. Wind 170 at 15. Visibility 8. Sky condition clear. Temperature 14 Celsius. Dew point 04 Celsius. Altimeter 3008. Remarks. Density altitude 900.
All right, perfect.
19 all day.
19 all day it is. I want to let you know you don't have brakes over there.
Good. I didn't want any.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you need a brake,
no brakes or go home for me.
That's right. So since you don't have any brakes, the way we stop the plane on that side is you open up this window and you stick your hands out the window and just air brake it.
Piece of cake.
Just all you got to do.
I've got big hands, so we should be good.
We're awesome.
We should be good.
We're going to make it happen. We're going to make that happen. So we'll go ahead and taxi on over to runway 19 since winds are coming out of 117. So
59 Fox departing runway 13 Ames.
He's going 13.
That's because he's crazy. Here, let me look here real quick. I'll double check to see what we got.
We'll make sure my brakes work. And they work, so we're good.
Wait, let me check mine. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Procedure, we're going to...
What's it showing on that?
19.
Yeah.
19 with a 6-knot crosswind. 13 is, 13 is a 7-knot crosswind. So, I mean, it's not that much different.
Yeah.
But I think 19 would be
better too. And especially
we're heading south,
Yeah. Ames traffic Mooney 875 is taxiing to runway 19 from the hangars Ames. All right, so Gabe here got his pilot's license. How long ago did you get that? How long did you acquire that?
2022, Chris.
2022, so 3 years ago. You've had 3 years of experience solo.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And Gabe had a kind of a scare here, 3 months ago? 3 months ago?
Oh, yeah. Beginning of February.
Beginning of February, so that'd be 2 months ago.
Found out it was at least in Glenn's experience, it was the second most worst thing that's happened at this airport under his tutelage here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get up in the air and let you explain what went on and how it happened. And emergency over Ames, which is kind of crazy. I saw the story online and was like, man, I don't know. I'd be cleaning my shorts out.
This is actually, since that's happened, this will be my second flight up since that's happened.
Yep.
But managing fear and managing those things is what it's really all about, I think.
Amen to that. So we got to overcome our fears, and I tell you what, there's fear in almost everything that we do in life. Fear of failing, and the fact that you're jumping back on board and doing this stuff and getting back on the horse again is a testament to your bravery and courage, but also your resiliency and being able to go out there and learn to keep doing what you love to do, which is fly airplanes. So.
Yeah, these horses are way too much fun.
Yeah.
Way too much fun.
Way too much fun. It's a nice tail dragger over there.
Oh, yeah. It's on the list. So is aerobatics.
Look at you. You're going to get all these ratings.
I'm going to get commercial aerobatic, tail wheel, and multi-engine, and before I die, maybe seaplane. We'll see.
I'm going to do CFI commercial, and then when I retire, because I got 34 years in a UPS.
Oh, yeah.
So when I retire, I'm going to have a nice little part-time gig, just kind of doing my thing.
I love it.
But we're going to do a run-up real quick. So set the brakes. She doesn't die.
On the ground.
the ground. She won't die in the air.
She won't die in the air.
Trust me, we will not go that route, okay? We will not do that. I will not let that happen to you. And this thing has a glide ratio of 13-to-1, so we could glide a little bit. The great thing about 1.9 is there's a nice little golf course out there, too, we can put it down on.
Yeah.
Should have an issue.
Yeah,
So.
I'm very familiar. I got up close and personal with that golf course. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So much fun.
Very familiar.
So much fun to listen to this story. It's fun now because nothing bad happened.
No, it's blessed beyond belief.
Yeah.
Absolute miracles all the way around.
Yep, and they say that in aviation there's a luck pile, and every time you go flying, you're pulling something out of the luck pile, and you really pulled something. You pulled a lot out of the luck pile that day, and so
the holes in the Swiss cheese lined up. If you're familiar with that,
that analogy.
Yeah, the holes in the Swiss cheese is just there's one that was blocked, and whatever that one that was blocked, thank you Swiss cheese.
There you go.
Glad you blocked the hole because.
So KPEA is the airport, correct?
Yeah, KPEA.
Okay, I went ahead and loaded it in here into the GPS. So we'll go direct, enter. It's giving me a 46 nautical miles, so not quite a cross-country trip.
I know, it's just right there.
Yeah,
right there.
But we'll do a direct track of 140. So we'll do heading bug.
And it's going to keep us out of the Charlie airspace.
That's awesome, too.
Be good.
All right, so typically when you fly IFR, I'm going to be on the ground and say, Des Moines clearance, Mooney 78875, like to pick up my IFR to Pella. They'll say, Mooney 78875, you're cleared, direct Pella. You fly to fly runway heading to 3,000, expect 4,000. 10 minutes afterwards, the frequency for 123.9, and your squawk code is 0505. Then I would read that back to them. They say, okay, let me know when you're ready to take off. Well, we're here now. We're ready to take off. I would say, Des Moines clearance, ready to go. Mooney 875 is ready to go. Runway 19. They'll say, okay, you're clear to take off. Take off, and then I would switch transition frequencies once I'm in the air. Correct?
That sounds about right to me.
That sounds perfect to me. So one of the great things about Gabe is he loves being ATC guy.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend to be ATC today.
He's going to be ATC guy. So we'll go ahead.
Don't judge me because I'm a little rusty.
Well, I tell you what, but you're better than nothing.
Yeah,
so I'm blessed. So we'll get ready to go. Ames traffic, Mooney 875 is departing runway 19 to the southeast. Ames. All right, we're going to take this 2 flaps. Flight controls are free and correct. Whoops, did I get you?
You're good.
All right. They're free and correct, doing what they're supposed to be doing.
I don't show any traffic. I'm trying to see if anybody's I can't tell if anybody's landing on 1 yet until we get in the air.
Yeah, I don't.
Or 13, I mean.
Yeah, there's. I don't hear anybody on the radio.
Yeah,
so I think we're good.
And we are on the correct frequency.
All right. And there's the big 19. Ready to roll? Ready to roll. Let's make it happen, Captain. There's 60.
Engine screen.
Yep, 70. Come on.
We're airborne.
Gear coming down. That's good. Flaps are up. Monitor engine real quick. There we go. We're screaming.
We are screaming. We're already doing 110 knots in a climb.
We're doing this is miles per hour.
Oh, okay.
16.
Yep, gotcha.
In a climb. 77 knots across the ground.
Yep. Nice wind.
Yeah,
nice headwind we got going on right now.
Coming back, we'll be screaming. We'll be
screaming.
Yeah.
Ground speed wise.
Yep. I'm gonna put my goggles on. You want to take the yoke?
I have the controls.
You have controls. All right, I got controls.
You have controls.
All right, we're gonna make our turn here. Ames traffic 2875, swinging left crosswind to the southeast from runway 19, Ames. Pull the power back a little bit. I don't want it to be going this hard.
Man, this baby climbs fast.
It does. It's It's a machine, man. It goes.
Yeah. All right.
Transport 7659, Foxtrot 7 to the east, southbound.
You got him on scope?
Yeah, I'm pretty much checking everybody. We got somebody right in front of us, just above us. That's Foxtrot. He's going to be straight to the left, just a hair. It's hazy enough to where we might not even be able to capture him.
What kind of altitude is he at?
He's 1,200 above us currently.
1,200 above us?
That's correct.
Okay. All right.
There he is. I got him.
Okay.
He is flying due south,
yep.
West currently.
All right.
So he's almost right in front of you right now, Chris.
Okay.
Just up a notch.
I'm going to be turning to the right here in a little bit once I hook up with the magenta line here.
I'm not going to lose him.
Okay. Let's call him real quick. Hey, 59er Fox, where are you headed to? You're headed south?
Yeah, we're getting set up for the RNAV 18 awakening. We're currently getting vectors.
Yeah, he's no factor now. See him there?
I can't see anything outside.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I forgot you had your I'd be cheating if I did that. So.
No, I got you.
So air's getting better.
Oh yeah, we're just above that haze now, so. Yeah, Foxtrot's no factor.
Okay.
Close enough I could smell him, but no factor.
All right, perfect. All right, we're on the magenta line, flying magenta line. We are climbing out at 500 feet per minute. 346 engine temperatures, which is good. And we're managing the aircraft well. So, all right, so we're on our way to Pella. It says we got 44 minutes now. I pulled the power back a little bit. I mean, I can increase the power and we can start screaming a little more.
Oh, that's okay.
I just wanted to try to, I didn't want to cook it there and cook it back. I wanted to try to get as much this time as possible. So, anyway, so Gabe here.
5 Smith, municipal traffic, 070 Foxtrot Alpha, 10 miles to the southeast, entering on the 45, left downwind runway 16.
18875. Getting frequencies now. All right. For everything that we need for weather and in the CTAP.
Yep, very good.
So, anyway, Gabe here was a couple months ago was flying and came into the flight school and rented an aircraft and wanted to get some landings in and do some proficiency training. And I'll let you start the story.
That's all I wanted to do, Chris. I just wanted to get my landings in. I had to, for those of you that watch Chris on a regular basis, you might know that in order to maintain proficiency, you want to try to fly anywhere between 1 and 3 hours, or 3 and 6 hours a month if you can, honestly. And then in order to take passengers up, you have to have, inside of 90 days, 3 landings and 3 takeoffs. And if you want to fly anybody at night, you have to have 3 landings and 3 takeoffs at night. And so I was in there because I had to get, I think 1 landing or something like that, just to make sure that I was maintaining proficiency.
Yep.
And I started my checks. It was really, really windy and cold that day, and I did forget my gloves. And this is like a kind of a key part of the story, I think, because the checklist is, I am kind of a stickler when it comes to the checklist.
You gotta get a routine and stick to the routine 100% all the time.
Yes, and look, we're flying we're not just responsible for us, we're responsible for people on the ground too, potentially. And so, just like with driving, I don't know, we take this much more serious. And so I went through my checklist. I checked the lights, the aircraft itself to make sure that everything was good, and then I also checked the fuel on the way around as well. And now in the Warrior 2, which is what I was flying that day, it has a couple fuel sumps, 3 of them actually, underneath, one underneath each wing, and then 1 in the front, coming off the fuselage by the prop, the propeller. And in order to check this fuel, you have to depress the valve. You have to push up the valve, and it releases fuel into the cup.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after you release so much fuel into the cup, the goal there is to check to see if there's any water in it or sediment or anything that might be foreign that you don't want to go flying with.
Right.
Anyway, I did that. I did that religiously. I do that every flight, and I did it to the front fuselage. Everything's fine, and I just kept going. And remember, I was cold, so I was probably moving 50% faster than I normally do with my checklists.
Right.
And so I got into the plane, and I started it up. Now, I was told that in this rental particularly, and it's actually one of Chris's and mine's favorite planes.
Yeah, favorite rental planes.
Rental planes. It was a brand new engine. And that's what I was told on the way out. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Brand new engine. This is going to be great. Well, I got in there, and right when I started it up, there was a sound that happened that was different than what I was used to. And I immediately attributed it to it being a new engine because that was the information that I got prior to getting in the plane. And that was mistake number one, or Swiss cheese hole number one. Yep. The cold was number one. Maybe that was number two.
Yep.
Anyway, then I did a run-up like Chris just did a minute ago, where he revved the engine up to 2,000 RPM, and then you check the mags with the keys. I did all that, and actually, when I ran it up in the Warriors, it's 1,800 RPM.
Yep.
But in the Warriors, I ran it up, and everything was going as planned.
Perfect.
Yep. Everything was going as planned. And I did not go full throttle because, that's dangerous to the brakes, and you don't want to do that on the ground. Or not don't want to, but it's not recommended. Yeah. Anyway, I did the 1,800, and I was like, okay, everything is checking out. Flight controls are pretty correct. I think we are ready to fly. And I did my scenario. Every time before I go up, I actually talk myself through what's going to happen at 50 feet, what's going to happen at 1,000 feet. And in between, and what I'm going to do. It's just a mental preparation of how to handle that, and I did that then too. And as I went full throttle, I took off. I got to full rotation, and I was starting to climb. I'm just checking the thing here real quick. We're good. All right. So we got up to speed. I started to climb. I came off the runway. Everything's just purring like a kitty cat. And I get to the end of the runway right below me just disappeared. So I just passed the end of the runway, and I was probably maybe 150 feet off the ground at this time. And the engine died on me.
Engine just quits.
Completely died.
You're at the end of the runway. No more runway left.
No more runway left.
The engine dies 150 feet off the ground, which is not a lot of room.
No. And it's called, and you can't do what's called like the murder turn there, because you think that you might be able to turn the plane around and glide it back to the runway, and the fact of the matter is, what happens is you'll stall the plane. You won't get a glide ratio that you need.
Right.
And so I knew that I wasn't turning. I needed to. When that happened, I was, oh my God! I went into like full-blown resistance mode. I was like, this isn't happening. And then I was also messing with the throttle. And then I pulled the throttle back, and suddenly the engine kicked back on again. And I started to climb again, and I was like, my heart, I can imagine your heartbeat at this time.
Right.
I immediately went full throttle again, because I needed to climb. I needed altitude. Power. Yeah, I needed altitude so I could glide back to the runway. And I started to climb again, maybe another 50 feet, and the engine died again. Wow. The second time. And at this time, I prepared myself for landing. I actually called emergency. I called Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. I have an engine out. I have to ditch the plane in front of me. And then I released the mic, because I didn't really have time to communicate at that time. So I was starting to go through what I need to do to land when the engine just suddenly kicked back on again. And this is about the time, Chris, when I started coming down.
Yep.
This is about the time when the tops of the tree lines were above me in front of me. Oh. Because there's hills in front of me, so there were some hills that were a little higher.
Yep.
And so I was going to land, and the engine kicked back on again, and I was like, oh my God. And it went, I didn't go full throttle this time. I climbed at like half power or quarter power,
right?
Which you can imagine is just the slowest climb ever.
Now, did you have flaps still in at the point?
No, this was a takeoff with 0 flaps.
Oh, okay.
0 flaps takeoff.
Okay.
No flaps. And so I knew I needed to climb, and so I started to climb super slow, and I also started to do the slowest, most gradual turn you could possibly think of, because I know about the turning stall.
Yeah, you don't want to stall when you're turning, right?
And so what ended up happening, and just to kind of shorten this up a little bit, was I ended up getting turned around. I chose not to land on runway 01, which I did have an opportunity to do, but the crosswind was really a lot. It was, I think it was almost 30 mile an hour winds that day.
It was really windy that day.
Very windy that day. And the crosswind on 1 was, I think it exceeded the limits of the plane.
Really?
I believe it did. I just don't remember. And so I decided to go for it and try to get back to the original runway start point where I was going to land.
Right.
And in the meantime, the engine had quit on me 2 more times during that haul to the beginning of 1-3 again.
And this is all within 500 feet of the ground.
This is all within 300 feet.
300 feet of the ground.
Yeah.
Scary.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, when I looked at FlightAware, it only captured a portion of my flight because that's when I was above 150 feet.
Wow.
Because it doesn't capture where it's such a wild view of what it looked like.
Right.
But I even though on the second turn when I was turning to capture the runway again, because I was afraid to take a hard turn, I had to do it really wide, and I missed the front of the runway again. So by the time I came back around to get on the runway, I was running out of runway again.
You mean you entered the runway area about halfway down?
Halfway down. That's correct.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But because there was such a powerful wind that day, it slowed me down enough. That's all I needed to get down.
So
and I landed on the third quarter of the runway, just about at or just after runway 19. So where it meets there.
You had maybe 800 feet left of runway.
When I landed, it was so slow that I came to a stop in 5 seconds. It was wild. I was and then immediately I went into I compartmentalized that immediately, and I was like, just get taxied to the ramp. Right. Don't do anything else. Just taxi to the ramp.
You're on the ground. You're safe.
Yep. Taxi to the ramp. And I did. I taxied to the ramp, and I got out of the plane. I turned everything off like normal, like it was a normal flight. And then I got out of the plane, and I started waving as I was walking because the compartmentalization wasn't holding. The stress was seeping through, and I knew that it was going to kind of burst a little bit. But as soon as I got out of the plane, I heard something hitting the ground in a liquid in front of the plane. I didn't even look at it. I wanted to get away from the plane as fast as possible.
Well, you got to go change your shorts at that point. You were uncomfortable, right?
There may have been a skid mark or two. It was not the most comfortable experience. But when Glenn went out, and then I came out later, Glenn said that the sump in the front of fuselage had gotten lodged open, and so fuel was not just leaking out of the plane, but every time I went to full throttle, instead of it shooting fuel into the engine like engines are supposed to do, right? It was shooting the fuel straight out of the plane.
Yep, straight out of the plane. Starving the engine of fuel.
That's correct.
And that's why it was. That's why it kept cutting out on you.
Yeah.
And
I was probably 1 second to committing to the landing, which means I would have turned the fuel off.
Yep.
And had I done that, there wouldn't have been a recovery.
No, and it would have been down into the trees or whatever. So,
all right, we're gonna get focused here for a second.
Okay.
All right, so let me see where we're at here. Where's my heading? 1, 2. 30 November 7, 8875. Make left bearing 060.
060 from Mooney 875. We are 15 miles north. I'm going to make a radio call, let them know what we're doing.
Sure.
Okay. Pella traffic, Mooney 875 is 15 miles to the northwest, inbound for the RNAV runway 16. Pella.
Mooney 875, descend and maintain 2,500 feet.
Sending Mooney 875, descending down to 2,500. So we'll pull the power back. So yeah, needless to say, you had a scary moment.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Mooney 875, clear for the runway, RNAV 16 approach into Pella. Give us a call back when you are established.
Okay. Mooney 875 was cleared to runway 16. We'll call when we're established on the RNAV.
Now we can chat.
So you have to constantly repeat. So with ATC, they tell you something, you should repeat what they say.
It's almost like in submarines, they do it. I think they do it 3 times. When a command is made, somebody else addresses the command, and then a third person addresses the command. So there's no question about what the command was.
Yeah,
and I think it's a good policy for ATC to have.
Independence traffic, Skyhawk 13 Hotel November is 5 miles to the east. We're going to be entering a left downwind runway 18 Independence.
No factor.
No factor. Independence, Missouri. That's a long ways away.
Is that where it can't be Independence, Missouri?
I think so. Where else is it? It's not Independence, Iowa. We don't have an airport there. Independence is up by Jessup, unless there is an airport up there. I don't know.
I don't know either. Independence, that's Kansas City.
That is Kansas City. That's not, no, there's no way.
No way.
No way.
Unless we're getting, sunspot bounce off or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, hey, it
could happen.
Who knows?
So what I did here is I closed my cowl flaps because the engine was starting to cool faster in certain cylinders. So I closed this, and it kind of restricts the air so it doesn't cool down as fast. Kind of prevents the whole shock cooling thing.
This traffic, Cessna 7044 Fox. We're on a base for a 3-mile final on runway 16.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start our turn here for vectors.
I have the runway.
You have the runway?
I do.
Okay, we're going to continue our descent. What's the minimums here?
Here,
we're going to go ahead and land, right?
Yeah, we'll land.
Okay. So
it's going to be 1360.
1360?
Yeah, 1,360 feet. RLNAV.
2875's on the RNAV for runway 16. 3,000 feet?
You can do 3,000 for the moment.
Okay.
Once you got glide slope in here?
I do.
Yeah, you'll be good then. Just capture it.
So I went ahead and descended down to 2,500 per ATC.
That's right.
So we're at 2,500 right now. And we'll just stay here until this glide slope starts capturing. A little bit bumpy.
Say while we got a second.
Delta traffic 7260 Mike, 10 miles out on the RNAV runway 34. We'll circle land 16.
Shameless plug here. We also do a podcast called Gabe and Shey.
Gabe and Shey Podcast.
Gabe and Shey Podcast.
Love it.
Yep.
Picture this. Your zipper is down on stage and you just noticed. What's your immediate reaction?
Running off the stage. That'd be so embarrassing.
You wouldn't stand in front of the crowd and go into the Peter Pan stance?
No.
And just be like, I just noticed something, everyone.
No, I would be
I want to bring everyone's attention to it because that's where my attention is right now. And maybe we should do something about it. I would try to play it off in the most humiliating, funny way as I possibly could.
No, I think my gut reaction would be to turn around and try to hide or run off the stage because.
And then what if it got stuck? What if you look like turned around and it got stuck?
Then it would just look like I was creating like this awesome new dance move. I still wouldn't admit up to the zipper though.
I would so admit it. I'd so admit it. What's that joke when you see somebody's fly down? Not that you're looking down there or anything, but you see somebody's fly down and you're like, what's up? And they said, nothing much. You'd be like, not your zipper or something like that. Is that the line?
And it's I'm sure Chris here is going to drop a link into it or something.
I will do that. I will do that.
We will do the same. We will do the same. I actually do talk about the story on that podcast as well, and some of the top takeaways that came from it, because I'm a man that believes that everything happens to you for a reason, and the reason is so that you can learn something from it, and specifically if you can learn 3 things from it, it's going to exponentially change your life in regards to growth and things like that, and so it's very important to me to capture as much as I can.
Amen. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is that a lot of people go through life, they constantly make mistakes, and sometimes they make the same ones over and over and over again without learning.
I used to do that.
And yeah, well, I think we all do it. Yeah. Until we finally realize that, hey, listen, it sure is a waste of time to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, and it never happens that way. So it is absolutely a blessing to Papa Descent is right there. Yep. So it is a blessing to have our ability to make choices, but also to learn from those mistakes. And you know what, mistakes are, I always told Kyle, my son, who was a wrestler, there's no such thing as winners and losers. There's only winners and learners.
Let's go.
The thing is that learners, when you go out on the mat and you lose, don't consider it a loss. Consider it a chance to learn.
Yeah.
Learn how you're going to overcome that. And
you have the opportunity to gain something more than the winner does.
Absolutely. Yeah, because he's going to just keep doing what he's doing.
He's doing what he's doing because it's working.
Yeah.
And so he's not going to make any changes. He's not going to learn.
Right. All right. So we are on glide slope, sort of. We're just a little low of it.
We are really close.
So we're going to go ahead and. All right, we're going to go ahead and get everything ready for this. So booster pump, carb heat. Gas is on full tank. Mixture is full rich. Tops full forward. We'll get the gear down. That's down and locked. We're going to give ourselves some flaps. 1, 2. And we will give ourselves some trim as well.
All right. So we got somebody coming in from the... He's behind us.
Behind us?
Well, we got... Who's this?
How far?
He's right on the...
9377 Alpha Yankee is about 10 miles to the north.
All right. We may have to abort this because we got some idiots here. I'm showing traffic facing us.
Okay.
200 feet below us. Near the runway.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, hold on. Let me make a call real quick. Pella traffic, Mooney 875 is currently 3 miles to the north, inbound for runway 16. Pella.
Pella traffic, Dutch 26 Lima Mike. We're circling to runway 16. We got the Mooney in sight. We'll follow you in.
Okay. What did he say? Was that Lima Mike?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. He's deviating. Okay, we're good.
Okay. We gotta descend because we're a little bit below the line, but we're on our line here.
Yep. We're looking good on our end. I think I got him in sight. Is that a chopper? That might be a chopper.
Really?
Central traffic, Cherokee 904 Juliet, 4 miles.
There's 1360. There you go. Falcon call. Money. Look at that. Money. Look at that. All right, we're a little fast, so we'll go ahead and pull this back.
Mooney is what you meant to say.
Yeah.
Mooney.
Here, Papa is going to set up a 4 mile final, runway 25 out of it.
A nice thing about Pella, there he is, right there.
Yep, I got him.
Nice thing about Pella is that it's a single runway.
Yes.
Back taxiing and everything, no taxiways.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to actually get off of that third line there.
Yeah.
That goes in the FBO?
Yep.
Right? Okay. Pella traffic, Mooney 875, short final for runway 16, full stop. Pella.
Feeling good, feeling good.
I'm feeling good. We're at 90, which is money. Power's out. A little bit of bouncing.
Traffic, Dutch 26 Lima Mike. We're making a left base for 16.
We are on the ground.
I am on the ground.
Uno más.
Look at that little. Is that the FBO?
Yeah, the
brick building?
little brick red building there.
That is super cool.
Some kid on a dirt bike. That's what it was.
Yeah, I see him on the dirt bike.
I don't know how I mistake him for a helicopter, but whatever.
Saw something flashy. Pella traffic, Mooney 875 clear, runway 16, headed to the FBO.
Yeah, we're following a guy on a dirt bike.
Yes.
Let's go.
I love it. Dirt bike guy.
Mooney at Pella's 1, guys will be ready to park you, so just follow them.
In a pilot's cool.
Oh, he's down there.
Oh, yeah. As far away as you can. Don't worry, they're going to take us in that little club car.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I love it. We're going to take video of this. So, Pella's treating us right. They're running around with club cars and stuff, so pretty awesome.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Man, if I was a kid and I got to do this stuff, come on.
Tell me that wouldn't be aviation all the way. All right, we'll kill the engine. All right, we made it to Pella. We'll turn off the cameras and then we'll fire them back up when we head back to Ames.
Yeah. All right, works for me.
See ya. Bye. So this is the club car here in Pella. They come get you and they take you to the Gabe's riding in style. I love it. How cool is this thing? It's even got an N number. 516 Hotel Sierra. Pretty awesome. Hard at the FBO. So the inside of the FBO here in Pella. Strike a pose, great Gabe. I love it. It's like Superman pose, but that's all right. So
I'm not exactly great on this.
yeah, we got the pilot lounge in here. Come and rest. The restrooms, I won't take you in there because that would be inappropriate for me to film the insides, especially if somebody's in there. So, but really neat FBO here. So is this FBO open 24 hours a day? So if I were to come in after hours, be able to get in? No, it's locked? Okay. And as with all great airports, they all have a way that they recognize their student pilots. And in here, in Pella, they have a board with pictures of everybody. It tells what they were, if they're a multi-engine or a private pilot or tail wheel endorsement, but they got the pictures of everything that goes on in here. And pretty awesome that they do this, because that recognition is important for these aviators as they go through their careers. So yeah, this is super cool. See all these pictures. What's your names again? Drew and Sully. These guys work here. It is for an airplane. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just like Sully, the guy who landed on the Hudson, right? Yep. So we're out here in Pella, and these guys are going to take us in the awesome Ferrari of club cars back to the airplane. So cool. There's no instruments in this, which makes it easy to fly. So awesome. You don't get this kind of treatment at other airports where they take you in a club car to your plane, right?
Yep, yeah, it's always good. We always try to give people rides, you never know.
Right.
Tell you what, usually after a long flight, I'm not in the mood to
walk.
in the
Yeah,
cold,
right.
Or the wind, or
there's the Mooney.